Hey guys, so today I am talking about the Q&A. You would have seen it on my Instagram. I put it up yesterday. Basically, I want to talk through two aspects and two questions that I was asked quite a lot. Um, but obviously, excuse me. Obviously, the one that really kind of stood out for me, or rather the two, should I say, and I'll explain the other one a bit later. But the first one is quite a good one. It's what did I do when in a situation of being bullied? Like, how did I personally get through that? Now, there's many different ways you can get through bullying. You know that you can ignore it. You can just try and get out of that situation the best you can, or you can rise to the bullies. You can be on their level and start a fight, start something silly. Ultimately, that's just going to get you even in more trouble. The the way I wasn't always like this, but the way I found best for me was to just you know if somebody turned around and said to me, "Oh yeah, like you're fat, you're ugly, you're disgusting," and I'd be like, "Okay, yeah, like you've given me those points. You've said like I'm ugly, I'm fat. That's great, but you know what? You've actually taken the time out of your day, um, and obviously you care that much that you have given me that information. So that's the way I look at it. Like if people are willing to, you know, be horrible to you and like call you fat, ugly, disgusting, or even like if you're skinny, call you a twig, call you chicken legs, stuff like that. You just make a joke out of it. Make it we all have our different ways of dealing with it. That's just my personal preference. Somebody else's might be that they say, well, I'm not those things, but thank you for taking notice. Or another person might just ignore it, just completely blank it out. And that's kind of the main sort of way to deal with that. Obviously, as I say, we all have our personal preference. I mean, as a kid, I always remember, and there's been times when recently, where not so long ago, where I'd be called a name or something like that, and something would spark out of it, and then I would get in a bit of a huff and a puff about it. But that's not the way to be. That's not the way to be. The way to be is you take five and you just think, is it worth going through all the aggro, all the stress? Just sit down and just be like, look, yeah, I am all those things, but how can you change? How can you make your situation that you're in better? Now, prime example of that for me is obviously I'm overweight. I still am, but you know what? Losing weight is a time. People say, "Oh yeah, like losing weight, you do it 5 minutes, you do it in a month, whatever." That's true. Yeah, you can lose a lot of weight, but to be consistent and to have it as a long-term goal, you have to. The time in has to be long. So there's no point of you saying, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna lose all this weight for a short term, do it really quickly, and then put it all back on." Like, there's just no point of doing that. The way that I see to do things is I'll set little targets. Like for this week, I'll lose £2. For the next week, I'll lose £2, £2, £2. And actually, over time, you think if you lose £2 every week, 100 weeks, that's going to be a lot of weight off. That's the way to sort of look at it. Like, you set little goals. And it's the same with bullying as well. Like, with bullying, for this week, you say, if I get bullied, I don't rise to it. I just let it happen. I let somebody bully me. I let somebody call me names, whatever. Because at the end of the day, they've taken that time out of their day to come up with some way to make yours worse. But actually, what you'll find is somebody that's a bully, normally gets bullied themselves, and then they take their aggression out on somebody that is easier to target. So that's the way I saw it. I mean, I always remember when I was at school. This is going back many moons ago. Obviously, I was bullied quite a lot because of my weight, the way I looked, and yeah, like I get. Do you know, I'm no Chris Helmsworth or Chris Evans or Chris Pratt or Arnold Schwarzenegger back in his day, or Eddie Hall now, or whatever, like whoever it might be. I'm no, Robbie Downey Jr. or any of those big stars. I don't look pretty. I'm not that sort of person. I am the person you see in front of you. That's me. Now, if you don't like me, that's fine. I don't care. But what I do care about, personally for me, is that if you don't know me and you say, "Oh yeah, I don't like you," well, why don't you like me? Because clearly you don't know me enough to not like me. You've just made an assumption of what I look like. You don't know what I'm like as a person, what I'm like as an actual human being. And when you go into depth like that, people kind of look at you and say, well, actually, yeah, you're right. And that's because I am. Like, I'm not saying I'm a big head, but what I'm saying is, like, in that instance, you have to really think about, who you are. You've got to think about who you are and whether you're going to be that person that says, oh yeah, I'm this, that, and the other. Or actually, you say, look, I'm none of those things. I'm just me. That's the best way to be. So yeah, my take on bullies is that there shouldn't be, in a proper society, there shouldn't be bullies, but we live in a world where there are bullies, and do you know what? It's sad that happens, but do you know what? It happens. And all you've got to do is, it's like water over a duck's back. It just slides off. You just take no notice. You don't care about it. But yeah. Now the second question, which I can sort of relate to the one I've just explained, was, what regrets do you have in life? I have quite a few. No, I'm not going to lie. I have a lot of regrets and a lot of things that I wish I could have done differently. And sadly, I won't have that chance to show that difference. You know what I mean? So this is quite a kind of controversial sort of question, because there are things that I can do, but there are things I can't do. Now, I don't like dragging the past up. That's just not me. But because of the question, sort of, it kind of makes me drag. So, we've all been in a relationship. We've all, lost people and whatever. But when you're in a relationship and you do something, you screw up a lot, and you have not got that chance afterwards to put things right, that hurts. But you know what? That's the same sort of thing as bullying, in the sense that you just kind of, you think to yourself, okay, you don't have that chance with that person, but you know what? There'll be another person that comes along, and that person will allow you to show what you are like. So, for me, yeah, single for like 10 months. But you know what? I'm actually happy about that. Strangely enough. Because, yeah, being in a relationship, yeah, it's cool. It's amazing. It's an amazing feeling. And honestly, all of you that are in a relationship, I'm sure you've been in one somewhere along the lines. It is such a lovely feeling knowing that somebody loves you for who you are and not what you look like, not how much money you've got, all that sort of stuff. That stuff goes out the window. But real love is somebody that will be with you no matter what, be with you for your ups and your downs, and somebody that will, if say you have an argument, you both sit down together and you sort that out. You don't let one sort it out and then the other one does a jolly. Do you know what I mean? So there's that. Regrets as well. Obviously a couple of years ago, I had ripped my ACL, and I was only 19, 20. Now, that's a really young age to do that. So it wasn't fun. But the regret I have is not listening to people around me telling me to take it easy, don't do anything stupid or strenuous. Or what did I do? I went at everything like a raging bull, like I always do. Now, sometimes in life, we have to step back and just listen to other people, because if we go through life with our own sort of take on it all, sometimes we miss the bigger picture. So yeah, the biggest thing for me then was for just to listen to the people that are looking after you. Don't don't be that person that doesn't listen. Also, another regret I have, and leading back to sort of the first one. My biggest regret in life, leading back to the second question, obviously what regrets I have, but the first part of that with relationships and stuff, is when I was in my own relationship. There's a lot of things I won't say on camera what I wish I did differently, and I won't name the person because I'm not that sort of guy. But what I will say is, boys, girls, this goes out to everyone. If you are in a relationship, for God's sake, make sure you show you love that person. Show that you love that person every day. Don't go around finding ways to get yourself into trouble and ruin that relationship, as I did. Go out every day and you make sure you show that person love. You never know when time is up and you might lose that person. And as I found out the hard way, losing somebody you love, whether it be a family member or in a love relationship, it sucks and it hurts and it breaks you as a person. It physically breaks you. But do you know what? Over time, you get used to being alone. And actually, being alone is when you're at your strongest. Because a guy or a girl that can be on their own for a long time and doesn't need somebody by their side saying, oh yeah, like, you're amazing, you're this, that and the other. You're almost sort of paparazzi, if you will. You're people. You don't need that. That's BS. You don't need that. What you need is just yourself. You focus on you. Do the things that you want to do. But if you're going to get in another relationship, I stress this enough. I can't stress this enough, sorry. don't drag somebody else down. And what I mean by that is, don't get in a relationship as like a rebound. Don't do that. I would strongly and highly suggest you wait a year to fully recover, fully accept and fully recover from your past relationship. Because you'll find that if you say, for example, wait 5 months or 6, 7 months and then get in a new relationship, sometimes you can find that you're with that person, A, because of a rebound, 2, you're lonely, C, you don't like your own company. And it goes back down to the obvious. You can't love somebody until you love yourself. That's the sad and harsh reality of it, guys. I'm going to wrap the video up here because it is it's quite a fair video. If you want me to do any more sort of videos like this or any sort of other videos, DM me. I'll answer it on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, whatever. I'm not going to bite. But yeah, see you later, guys. Catch you later. Stay strong, stay together, be safe. Especially in the times we're in at the moment.